part-time roles available in most zones. Anyone interested in applying should contact their local governor. And finally, I'm delighted to report that the infrastructure to register new marriages will soon be in place.
We are the Veil. We see you. You who make the rules that suit you. But things are changing. We are the new voices that will be heard. You worship the past, but the future is ours.
I believe my instruction was perfectly clear. Arrest her.
Abby's just told you...
Do we or do we not have laws which forbid the obstruction of justice?
I was protecting my son.
If that were a point of defence, then no mother would ever commit a crime. Jenny, if you won't do as I ask, then I have to seriously consider your position.
I'm sorry, Abby. I'll have to take you to the detention centre.
Jenny.
For now. I'm hopeful we can sort this out.
It will be sorted out in court at her trial. Could I have 2 rangers in here, please? Prisoner escort.
There's no need for that. I can escort Abby.
There's every need. I believe we recently had a discussion about the importance of following rules.
And that's it? You're not going to do anything about Governor Crail and the slave auctions?
Not purely on your word, no.
Mom?
This woman is under arrest. Take her to the detention centre for processing.
I'll come with you. Oh, you can put those away. There's no need for handcuffs.
Thank you for that, at least.
Let's go.
Well done, Jenny. You might just have added an inch to that thin ice you're standing on.
Good to know, Prime Minister. The detention centre's only a couple of streets away. We can walk there.
So much for coming to an old friend for help.
My hands are tied, for now. I'll do everything I can for you, including the situation up north. I'm not going to let that go, even if Tate doesn't want to do anything about it.
While I stew in a jail cell.
But hopefully not for long. I'll support any bail application you make.
Oh, thanks.
In the meantime, if you have a chance to get away, take it.
Oh, I will. What's that commotion?
Sounds like demonstrators, again. The green opposite the entrance is a popular pitch for them.
What do we want?
A voice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
A voice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Good to
What do
know
we
the
want?
voice of protest hasn't been
When do we
gagged.
want it?
Absolutely not.
What
It's a
do we
protected right.
Well, look who it is. The Law Minister herself. Hello, Miss Richards.
Yeah, we'll go this way.
Why not talk to him?
Why not go this way?
We're here to demand a voice, Minister. A say in our future and the future of this country. Why are you stifling our voice, Minister? And hey, who have you got there? Another prisoner for the Rangers?
Right. Let's go.
Oh, let go of me.
Do as she says, Ranger. There's no need for that.
Hey, take your hands off her. What's she supposed to have done?
It's none of your business.
Suppose we make it our business. Right. Back off.
Oi! Hey,
Who are you pushing?
you keep
Come
your hands
back
off
here.
my
Push
boyfriend.
it. Get courage. You get off. You
Back off, come on.
This is your chance, Abby. Go.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Oi! She's getting away. After her.
Oops. Sorry.
You okay, officer? Wait.
Pop it, Arthur. That one might be back for you.
I'll see you at the centre later. Give us a kiss for luck. See you later.
The rest of you two, off you go.
You're not going as well?
Why? You gonna arrest me?
Right, no intention. Do you want to be arrested?
What I want, seeing as I've got the opportunity, is to speak to you about the injustices for which this government is responsible. About the disenfranchisement of a generation.
All right,
About
hang on. Now, what's your name?
Robin. Robin Page.
Well, Robin Page, if we're going to talk, let's not do it in the street. Come to my office.
You're inviting me in?
I'll hear what you have to say. It's the least I can do. You've done me a bit of a favour.
I don't understand.
You don't need to. Come on.
Oi! Perv!
Me?
See any other pervs round here? Saw you smooching with your boyfriend back there after it all kicked off.
We kissed.
Turned my stomach. You dirty perv. Why don't you clean up? Have a bath!
Help! Please, I can't swim! I can't swim! Help! Please! Help me, please!
I'm coming! I'm coming! Hang on! Hang on! I'm here. I've got you. I've got you. Relax.
Oh, cute couple. But I don't think you're as tight, love.
Punt.
What?
Don't go to the bank. Get on one of the punts.
Right.
Here. The pole. Past the pole.
Can you work one of these things then?
Pole. Please. And yes. Yes. I'm a dab hand at punting.
See you again.
Thank you.
I could hardly leave you to drown.
Even though you've got your own worries. Like the rangers that were chasing you.
Oh, you were one of the demonstrators outside Parliament.
That's right. I tripped up one of them. They could be all over these streets shortly. Should we stick to the river? And, here. Put this on. It's soaked, of course, but you can put the hood up. Make yourself less recognisable.
Thank you. My name's Abby, by the way.
Arthur.
I appreciate your help, Arthur. But you don't know what they were chasing me for.
Well, I take against rangers on general principle. But if you'd like to tell me, I'm all ears.
Right. I'm all ears. What can I do for you?
A lot. But not just for me, for the good of humanity and our future.
Blimey.
I represent a group of young people, a fellowship that sees the current social and political situation as an opportunity. An opportunity to start afresh with social justice and equality as the bedrock.
I can't fault you for that.
Social justice and equality for all. This government and this parliament is trying to suppress the aspirations of the young and other groups in society, treating us like second-class citizens.
But how are we doing that?
In my case, I'm a young man and I'm gay. That's a double whammy. I have no one who represents me in this parliament. You have no openly gay parliamentary representatives, and anyone under the age of 26 is barred from standing for election.
Yeah, I disagreed with that age exclusion. I voted against it when it came through Parliament.
Bully for you. Didn't do any good, though. It still passed. I want to be a parliamentary representative. I want to speak for my generation and ensure its interests are taken into account when this new so-called democratic country is deciding its laws and its future.
slaves. Really?
Really?
And instead of listening to you, the government arrests you for protecting your son. That makes my blood boil.
My friend tried to help, but our Prime Minister, my word wasn't good enough for her, apparently.
I'm sorry about your son.
Thank you. Sometimes I'd imagine what Peter's life would have been like if the world had taken a different turn. It had swallowed everything up. All those possible lives.
Is that why everyone's so angry all the time?
Are they?
It sometimes feels like the people who lived through the death resent people my age. Because we didn't have to suffer like they did.
I don't resent you. I don't know anyone who does.
Then why does no one listen to us? Why is anyone under 26 banned from running for office? We have ideas. A different perspective. A better one, maybe. We might as well be shouting at the wind.
I didn't know about the age limit. That doesn't sound fair.
A lot of what's happening is unfair. Like what happened to you.
Well, speaking of unfair, why did that man attack you?
He saw me kiss my boyfriend goodbye. Stupid of me, really, I suppose.
It's not stupid. You shouldn't have to hide your feelings for someone.
I shouldn't have to. Sometimes it's by far the safer option. Speaking of options, do you know what you're going to do next? Do you have somewhere to go?
I have no plan. And nowhere to go. Yet. I do know I need to get away from here.
I know someone who might be able to help.
You do? Who?
I don't want to say too much until I've spoken with her. But she helps our group. Gives people a safe space if they're on the run. If she agrees, I'll introduce you. I think you'll get on well with her.
I think I was lucky to meet you.
What is it you think I can do for you, Robin?
My group has long been urging Parliament to create and uphold an independent commission for social justice and equality, which will work to ensure that old prejudices and unjust laws don't re-emerge.
Such as?
Okay, this bill you're currently putting through so people can register marriages, does it include same-sex couples?
Well, no, not explicitly, but I have absolutely nothing against...
You have nothing against gay people getting married, but you didn't think to put it in the bill because you have no gay people in government.
No, that's not the case at all.
And if you don't put it in the bill, then when same-sex couples try to get married, they will be told it doesn't include them. And we're back to exactly where we were 20 years ago. I'm here to suggest we move forward, not back.
That is an oversight on the marriage bill, and I think your idea of a commission is a good one, but these things don't happen overnight.
I'm not finished. I said I want to be elected and sit in Parliament chamber, and I mean it. I want to be free to stand in the upcoming election. Scrap the age restriction.
Parliament has already voted on that. There's no chance of another vote anytime soon. However, I think there's a good chance that for the following election, the age limit...
Not good enough.
Robin?
My generation has been and continues to be ignored because we didn't suffer through the death. We don't know how lucky we are, but we were brought up in a world filled with bitter and broken adults clawing for a remnant of their old life. It's old thinking, and it needs a new perspective. This is a chance to start afresh.
It's a lovely ideal.
It can be reality. Those like me who were infants when the death happened or were born after it are the future. We're the ones who will carry society forward in the decades to come, but we're being sidelined. We're being denied representation. And you can put that right. You and your government.
You don't understand how problematic it would be to change election law at short notice.
That's always the excuse. We don't understand. Maybe this time it's you who doesn't understand. I've researched the law on this, and there is a way.
Really?
In exceptional constitutional circumstances, quote, to ensure the security and stability of the nation, any act of Parliament may be amended in quick order at the discretion of the King or the Prime Minister.
However, this Prime Minister has no intention of invoking such discretionary powers, and nor would the King.
Prime Minister, hello.
Who's this?
Robin Page. We were discussing...
I was here long enough to get the gist of what you were discussing. You're holding surgeries with angry young members of the public, are you?
You got the angry bit right.
Jenny, you don't have anything more pressing to deal with or inform me about, like an escaped prisoner?
Yeah.
Get out, young man.
We haven't finished.
I said get out before I have you thrown out.
Like I said, we continue to be ignored.
Robin, let's talk again.
Thanks for nothing.
When were you going to tell me about Abby Grant's escape?
After this meeting.
Jenny, if I find out you had anything to do
No,
with
of course I didn't. There was a disturbance and she ran.
Hopefully she'll soon be back in custody. The Rangers are conducting a citywide sweep.
I'll supervise the search and report back to you if they find her.
I think not. Given your personal connection, it would save any potential conflict of interest if the Rangers reported directly to me on this one. I'm sure you understand.
I don't have much choice, do I?
None at all. And Jenny, look me in the eye and tell me you don't know where she is.
Celia, I have not the slightest clue where Abby Grant is right now.
Right. I'll let you know when they find her.
Abby,
Here.
I've spoken to her. She's more than happy to take you in.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Come with me. Her place is just a street away.
I can't thank you enough. I don't know what else I would have done. I got myself recaptured, most likely.
You'll be safe with the envoy.
The envoy?
That's what we call her. It's sort of a code name.
All very James Bond.
We have to be. She'd be in such trouble if she was found out. We all would. Her house is the third one along.
Will you be staying too?
I have to get back to Robin. He'll be getting worried. Here we are.
Hello, let's see who you brought me. I don't believe it! Abby!
Jackie!
You know each other?
Oh, Abby! Come here! You're soaking. You both are.
Oh, sorry, yes. We had an impromptu dip in the cam.
Oh, we've got a lot of catching up to do. Come on, come inside.
I'll be on my way, but I hope to see you again, Abby.
Oh, I hope so too, Arthur. Thank you for everything.
Hello, Jenny Richards.
Hello, Jenny. It's Jackie.
Hello, Jackie. How can I help you?
Oh, it's not business. I was calling to ask if you'd like to come over for dinner tonight.
Oh, I'd love to, but it's a really bad time. You wouldn't believe the day I'm having.
I might.
Sorry?
Why don't you come over and tell me about it? I can introduce you to a friend. She turned up unexpectedly and she's dying to meet the Law Minister.
A friend? An old friend, is it?
That's all right. I'll see you in an hour or so. Bye.
Well, there's a thing.
This is the most deliciously glorious thing I've ever tasted.
It's only tea.
How can you possibly say only tea? Haven't the years of deprivation taught you the adoration and worship we owe to this elixir?
I'm spoiled. I get a good supply from Sweden. They've crates of the stuff. They've actually forged meaningful relationships with other countries. Meanwhile, this green and not-so-pleasant isle...
No politics, Jackie, please.
Oh, sorry. It is my day job.
Are all my friends ministers these days?
Oh, I'm a mere parliamentary representative, a P rep.
Who has a side hustle with a group of youths?
They're bright kids, good ideas. Not that anyone listens to them.
You've changed.
Sometimes I worry I've hardened too much. It started as a shell just to keep going, but now it's more than skin deep.
No, I didn't mean that. You're so confident. You know exactly who you are.
Don't you?
Oh, I used to think so. I used to be a mother.
Hey, you still are. Peter may be gone, but you're still his mother.
Oh, Jackie, I miss him so much.
We've both lost children far too soon. I'd like to tell you, you get over it, but you don't. But you can grow bigger than the grief, so it doesn't overwhelm you. It just becomes a part of you, a part as much about love as it is about pain. You've got your memories of Peter, and you kept him safe as long as you could.
And now you're keeping me safe.
It's all right. It'll be Jenny. I called her while you were changing. She'll knock again. Huh?
Hi, Robin. Well?
I checked in with the radio room. We've got back into the government communication channels, and there's lots of back and forth about that friend of yours who got away from the Rangers.
Abby.
They're pulling out all the stops to find her. The Prime Minister seems to have taken it personally. That's how it looked when she was talking to Jenny Richards anyway.
I still can't believe you got to speak to the Law Minister and the Prime Minister.
I spoke to the Law Minister. I was given my marching orders by the Prime Minister, and pretty much patronised by them both. Your clothes on the radiator are nearly dry, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Would you recognise the guy who threw you in?
It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal.
Of course it matters. You could have drowned. I could kill that guy.
No, you couldn't. One day you'll legislate against animals like that. And look, I'm okay. And I'm back with the most precious thing in the world to me.
Your Transformer LP.
Exactly. Although you're a close second.
This Abby woman, if they find her and we lose the envoy, that could put us back a long way. I don't know, she might have to take her chances on the street.
No. We can't abandon her. She's been through a lot. She lost her son.
We've all lost people.
And would you believe she was sold at some slave auction up north?
She was what?
Just recently. They had her in chains and everything. And that's not all. She says the local governor was in on it.
Arthur, sit down.
All right.
Now, tell me everything she told you.
Okay.
Every last detail. This could be gold dust.
It sounds like I won't be able to move Abby for a couple of days at least.
2 days?
You can't risk going out on the streets for now. Ranger patrols have been doubled.
So Tate is putting all this effort into trying to find me and doing precisely nothing about investigating Crail?
I told you I'll look into that myself once you're safe and away from Cambridge.
I'm safe enough, thanks to Jackie and Arthur.
This Arthur was one of those demonstrators, one of the lot from the protest outside Parliament?
That's right. He also tripped up one of the Rangers when I escaped, apparently.
Oh, it was him. I spent some time talking to, well, mainly listening to his boyfriend after you'd gone.
Oh, that would be Robin.
That's the one.
They're lovely boys, really. Robin's a little driven. He's the leader of their group.
Arthur mentioned something about a group.
Robin called it a fellowship.
Robin wouldn't have wanted to be too forthcoming with you. They call themselves the Vale.
The Vale? That annoying lot on the radio?
Someone's going to have to explain that to me.
The Vale turn up on radio broadcasts from time to time. You'll be listening to something, music, news, whatever. And then they break through and you're listening to one of their messages.
Usually anti-government rhetoric, proclamations about a brighter future, and conspiracy theories. They like those.
They do sometimes broadcast stories without checking the facts. But at the same time, They have thrown a light on important topics, particularly gay rights and youth issues.
That's very much what I was hit with by Robin today. To be fair, he made a good case.
Wait, they broadcast exposés?
You could describe them as that.
Then they're what we need. They could let the public know about Crail and the slave trade in his zone.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Most people don't believe the theories they put out, Abby. They wouldn't be any more prepared to believe your story.
It would only take a few who do to spread the word.
Better to get further evidence before going public. If we find that evidence, Tate will see that it's true and she'll do the right thing. I'm sure she will. But if you go on an activist pirate broadcast and you're discredited straight away because you can't prove what you say, that doesn't help.
Not to mention, doing the broadcast would mean leaving this house.
And didn't I just mention the extra ranger patrols?
Oh, I won't get caught.
If you want to help, the best thing you can do is get away from here as soon as it's safe to move. I'll do everything in my power to get evidence against Crail and others. But I won't have the power to do anything if Tate finds out I'm helping you.
I just think this could be an opportunity.
I'll tell you something else. If we do this officially, build a case and stop that slave trade, it would be because you brought it to light. That would make a strong case for dropping all charges against you.
That's a nice thought, but there's no guarantee.
Can I suggest something? It's late, and Abby, you're exhausted. Why don't we all sleep on it?
Fine. We can talk again tomorrow. And I am really tired. My last sleep was in a goods carriage. Can I just say before I go to bed, the three of us, back together, it's so nice.
Oh.
Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, Abby.
Good night.
I'll be on my way. Something occurs to me.
What's that?
Is this what you meant yesterday when you promised me you'd be more discreet?
Not quite. Circumstances change, don't they? And of course, it's Abby.
See you tomorrow. Take care. And watch her. Sometimes Abby needs protecting from herself. I wouldn't put it past her to sneak out.
Let her try. Good night, Jenny.
Oh, very homely. And, ooh, fried breakfast. Nice.
You're just lucky Patricia decided to lay today.
You named your chicken Patricia?
She's a little devil, pecks me every single time I go near her. Right, these are ready. Take a seat.
Oh, fried egg, flowers, an actual kitchen. Oh, is that a china plate?
Eat up. I was assigned this place by the government when I became a P-Rep, but really it's too big for me on my own.
Have you been on your own all these years?
There's been the occasional love interest. Nothing who you'd call long-term, which is fine. I like my own company. And it makes my activities as the envoy easier to carry out. It was Robin who came up with that name, by the way. A nom de guerre, he calls it. Embarrassing, I call it.
Arthur said you get people out of the country.
Oh, he shouldn't have told you that. Not without knowing more about you.
Are there many people who want to leave?
Britain isn't a safe place for everyone.
When was it ever? Jackie, what do you think about me using Robin and Arthur's broadcasts to let people know about Crail?
I'm in two minds, to be honest. I can see the value in getting the word out there, but at the same time, there's a lot of sense in what Jenny says.
Patience might be the best thing. Though it was never my strong suit. 3 knocks. Wait for it. It's Jenny.
Probably. She's earlier than I thought. All right, I'm coming. Hold your horses. You're early, Robin.
Morning, Envoy. Hope you don't mind me calling round. You have a visitor I'd like to speak to.
So, if the Ranger trainees are ready by June, then 3rd Division can take the first batch.
We are the Veil. We see you. You who make the rules.
Well, hello again, the Veil.
Suit you.
You're not Robin. Who are you, I wonder?
There is a certain complacency found in the new federal government. A belief that we will follow wherever they lead simply because they are walking down a path. But we see beyond the horizon. We know where they're leading us. Back into the darkness. Times of hate. Times of division. Times even of slavery.
What?
The government gives an impression of being in control, but is that a facade? How much does the Cambridge Parliament really know about what goes on in the many zones around the country? Are governors truly accountable? Or can they act as a law unto themselves, trampling over the lives of us, the people? The Veil has heard rumours. We hope to bring you more on this shortly. We are the Veil. We see you.
Oh, Abby. I should have asked you what you told him.
You're not supposed to come here without calling first. It's not safe.
I apologise, but circumstances were urgent. I wasn't sure how long your guest... can I call you Abby?
Please do.
I wasn't sure how long Abby would be here, and I didn't want to miss her.
You're Arthur's boyfriend?
That's right.
Oh, you're a lucky man. He's lovely and brave with it.
I'll tell him you said so.
What are you doing here? Exactly.
Arthur told me about Abby's experiences in the York Zone. I wanted to speak to her about that.
Go on.
I head an activist group, the Veil. You've heard of us?
Only since yesterday.
Oh.
She's been out of touch.
We advocate for change, for giving the post-death generation a voice and representation, and for protecting the people of this country from the failings and injustices of the system.
I'd heard something along those lines.
We are always looking to expose those injustices. People tell us their experiences and we hear rumours. There's a fallacy perpetuated by this government that there's law and order across the land.
It's undeniable that things improved when the Rangers were introduced.
In some areas, but it's patchy with few checks and balances.
Tell me about it.
Your experiences up north are a good example. After the death, people had years of believing that there was no law, that they could do whatever they want with impunity. That attitude persists in some, even here in Cambridge.
Like that animal who attacked Arthur yesterday.
Robin and Arthur's group collate reports of hate crimes.
They're on the rise, with the young particularly singled out for victimisation, whether because of their sexuality, gender or race.
Why are you telling me this?
What you experienced in York is something people have to be told about.
And you want me to go on your radio broadcast and talk about it?
You know about the broadcasts? Yes. Will you do it?
Would you believe I'm ahead of you? We were discussing just that before you arrived.
So you'll do it?
She's not saying that.
I'm undecided.
What's to decide? People need to know.
It's a question of how it's handled, and if you'd forgotten, Abby's a wanted woman.
She'll be safe with us. Look, here's an idea. Come and meet the group.
Oh, no. Wait a minute.
You'll see the setup. We're careful. We've been doing this for a while, and we've not come close to being caught up by the authorities.
Maybe the authorities lacked the proper incentive. Until now.
I'll come.
Abby, no!
I'm not committing myself to doing the broadcast, Jackie, but I'd like to meet more of Robin's group.
Ugh, if you're going, I'm going.
Hello, Exchange. Connect me to Cambridge 282, please. Thank you. Come on, Jackie, pick up. Oh, Abby, you didn't. Jackie? Oh, sorry, I was expecting someone else. Yes, I'll be right along. See you in a moment. Be careful, Abby.
Anyone who's not got their tea and coffee orders in yet, let me know. I'll be brewing up in 5.
Look who I've brought you.
Abby! And Envoy. We don't usually see you here.
Yes, there's a very good reason for that.
Arthur, hello. It's lovely to see you again.
Welcome to the revolution.
So, this is the hub of Vale activity?
On a temporary basis.
We have to move every few days so they can't track us down.
You're well equipped.
Arthur's always been a whiz on the amateur radio side.
I accumulated all these bits and pieces over a few years.
Not only can we broadcast with this kit, we can hijack public and government broadcasts. With that set over there, we can listen in on government radio chat, including Ranger personal radios.
Ooh, Jenny wouldn't like that.
I don't suppose she would. Anyway, this is the setup. Nothing outside to draw attention to ourselves, all very discreet.
Has she agreed? Abby, are you going to go on air for us and tell your story?
I don't know yet. Maybe.
Please do. It's important people hear it.
It's important it's stopped and the people responsible are brought to justice. Talking about it on a pirate radio broadcast may not be the best way to go about that.
Says who?
Jenny Richards, that's who. The law minister.
How does she come into it?
Turns out she and Abby are best of friends.
Oh, she doesn't know about us, does she?
She knows you helped Abby, and she's grateful.
Would she help us?
She had her chance when I spoke to her yesterday. She didn't take it. Words of support, that's all.
She told me you put a good case. You made an impact.
Did I?
She's a good woman. She cares. And she's going to gather evidence against the people who bought and sold Abby, including the governor.
I'll believe it when it happens.
I think I'm going to do it. The broadcast. The Rangers could arrest me tomorrow. If I don't take this chance to tell my story, I might never get another one.
Abby...
Look, Jenny can still gather her evidence.
At least speak to Jenny again before you decide.
I've decided.
All right. Well, I hope it works out for the best.
Thank you.
I'll leave you to it. If you go ahead with this, they'll be looking for you with a vengeance. You'll have to get out of the city sooner rather than later, even out of the country. I can start making arrangements.
If you need to make calls, you're welcome to do that from here.
Oh, for this sort of thing, I use public call boxes, much safer. I'll be back in a while. Take care, Abby.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you, Abby. This will do a lot of good.
It'll really shake things up. We'll be heard this time.
Oh, news coming in.
Oh, good Lord, a ticker tape machine.
I'll see what it says.
I've not seen one of those in so long.
The news agencies, such as they are, have had to fall back on old tech for their news feeds. What does it say, Arthur?
Speak of the devil. It's a government press brief. It says the law minister is due to give the government's afternoon radio address shortly.
I'm very happy to report that the floods in the West Country are now well under control. Local residents and rangers responded quickly to install flood defences, and properties are no longer at risk. The Prime Minister has asked me to extend her personal thanks and well done to everyone involved in that effort. I'm meant to finish there, but there's something I wanted to share with you. I was speaking yesterday to an impressive young man. This young man had a bee in his bonnet about something. We have the first general election coming up in a matter of weeks. This will be the single most important event in this country's history since the death. The beginning of a new dawn. Democracy in action. No more provisional government with its temporary officials. The people given the choice. But not all the people. Not if you're below the age of 26. And that's the issue this young man has. Parliament decided that there should be a minimum age to stand for election as a representative, and that age should be 26. The reasons, in my opinion, are spurious. The debate on the subject argued that representatives required maturity, and that some knowledge of pre-death society and systems was an indispensable asset to inform our way back to a fully functioning society. These views are short-sighted and patronising at best, and ageist or bigoted at worst. It's not too late to reconsider Parliament's decision on this matter. Royal or prime ministerial discretion is available in the national interest to strike the age restriction from law. Or Parliament itself could move to revoke this provision from the statute book. I would wholeheartedly endorse any such action to give the post-death generation a place and a voice at the heart of the decision-making process in our new democracy. Thank you.
All done, Minister.
Whew, I expect that's put the cat among the pigeons. Thanks, Sam. See you next time.
Oh, hello? Oh, it's a call for you, Minister.
Ah, the Prime Minister, I expect, with her own particular bee in her bonnet. Hello?
Jenny, thank goodness I got hold of you.
Jackie, where are you? I called the house and there was no answer.
Not on this phone. Can you meet me on Fitzwilliam Street?
Yes, of course. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Hello? Oh, it is the Prime Minister this time, ma'am. She sounds cross.
Oh, well, it's a shame I've just left then, isn't it? I would wholeheartedly endorse any such action to give the post-death generation a place and a voice at the heart of the decision-making process in our new democracy. Thank you.
Wow. That's something.
Why is she saying that now?
I told you, you made an impact.
I don't trust it.
But it's what you've always wanted. It's what you've asked for.
She's manipulating us somehow.
Oh, you're looking a gift horse in the mouth, Robin.
She hasn't committed to doing anything herself. Not really.
She's put the issue out there. People will respond. Hopefully politicians too. There's a chance.
It's too good a chance to put at risk, Robin. Do you think maybe we should cancel today's broadcast? Or at least keep Abby out of it? For now.
Why?
Well, we have a chance to get a voice in shaping the future. If we put the stuff about the York Zone out there now, if we embarrass the government, it might scupper the whole thing.
That's it. That's what she was doing. She's trying to stop us putting you on the broadcast.
What?
She said the right things, yeah, but she wants us to think if we rock the boat, we could lose it. Like I said, she didn't promise anything. There's nothing to lose. We go ahead with the broadcast. Yes, Abby?
I suppose... Yes. Yes, I want people to hear it.
And let's make sure the audience is as good as we can make it.
How do we do that?
By hooking people, getting them talking and tuning in. We generate word of mouth by broadcasting a teaser.
Well, when you do see the Law Minister, tell her I want to speak to her. Immediately. Yes? That's right. I asked to be notified of their broadcast. How long ago? Thank you.
Broadcast to bring you a special message. This is not our regular broadcast that will take place in an hour. And do we have a treat for you? Not so much of a treat for Prime Minister Tate and her government, though. We'll have a special guest for you. A fugitive. A victim of the institutions of government, and she has a story that will shock you. Tell your friends. Join us in 1 hour on this channel, and all will be revealed. We are the Veil.
A fugitive, eh? Not so much of a mystery guest, are you, Abby Grant? Connect me to Ranger Control. Yes, I just heard it. And when they broadcast again, I want you to be ready to trace their location. Give this top priority. Divert technical resources from wherever you need. And have an arrest team ready to deploy to anywhere within the city once we have that location. Oh, and one other thing. All updates are to come directly to me, no one else. I said no one. There's no need to bother the Law Minister with this.
Jackie? Jenny, thanks for coming.
Where's Abby? Why did you leave the house?
We had a visit from Robin Page. He talked Abby into doing the broadcast. She's with him now at a community centre a couple of streets away.
Oh, I tried to throw them a bone to put them off, and it doesn't seem to have worked. Can you take me there?
Yeah, I can. But I want to make a call first.
I made you some mint tea.
Oh, thank you. I think I've changed my mind.
What?
About doing the broadcast. I'm not so sure it's a good idea.
Of course it is. People have to be told the truth.
And if they don't believe it, because all we have is my word, the word, as the Prime Minister will likely say, of a criminal, Jenny was right. That could undermine any chance of prosecuting the people who are guilty.
We can't rely on others. If the Vale could trust others to do their job and bring the guilty to justice, we wouldn't need to exist. Our experience is that the guilty go unpunished more often than not, and we have to cast a light on them.
That might have been true once.
Everyone in this group has been a victim. A victim of hate crime, of homophobia, racism, rape, domestic abuse. You want to know my story of family bliss? My father flew into a rage when he saw me kiss a boy. I tried to calm him down, and he put a gun to my mouth. He said if I ever used these lips to kiss another boy, he would put a bullet through them.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Dad didn't get angry at the death, or the Civil War, or the government. What worked him up was a show of affection between two boys.
Well, what happened after that?
I reported him, or I tried to report him. It was a he said, I said, and it went nowhere. No justice. But I left home, and I told anyone who'd listen what he'd done. Oh, I made sure they knew what a vile, hateful shit he was.
I can vouch for that. It's how we met. Both of us on the run from domestic bigotry.
So I'm not a fan of relying on others, especially those in authority, to do the right thing. It's time to start the broadcast.
Do I not get a say in that?
If you don't tell your story, I'll tell it on your behalf. Either way, it'll be heard.
I'll start up the set. Get us on the right frequency. Who's that?
I'll go see.
Evening. Mind if we come in?
Speak? Excellent. Get the arrest team moving. Once you've got a solid fix on the location of the broadcast, tell them to move in. Arrest Grant and anyone who's with her. Keep me updated. I'll be available on this number until it's done.
Why did you bring her here?
Because she's a friend, and I wanted to show you can trust her.
I'll second that.
I see you're ready to start your broadcast. Could I have another go at suggesting you don't?
I've already decided not to do it.
Oh, I'm glad. Robin, it might be an idea to shut down the carrier signal, just in case.
With or without Abby, we're still going to broadcast. Her story will be told.
You heard my broadcast? If it gets the response I expect, from representatives and, more importantly, from the people whose votes they'll rely on, the public, there's every chance we could get rid of that age restriction in time for the election.
Robin? It wouldn't hurt to wait. Even a day or so. See how it goes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey.
What?
No, I just saw something. Movement in the street. It's a ranger. No, 3 of them. More!
They've traced the broadcast signal.
Arthur, get away from the window.
It's over the top for shutting down a pirate radio broadcast. They've come for Abby. We have to get out of here. Is there a back exit?
I'll show you.
Go. We'll hold them up. Everyone, barricade the door. Arthur, get them out of here. Like she said, Abby's the one they really want. We might get away with it if you were never here. Go!
Right. There's a horse and cart in the backyard. You can take that. Through this door and the stairs will take you to the yard.
You're not coming?
I'm staying with Arthur.
Smoke bombs! Go quickly!
Robin! Oh, he's out cold. Help me with him. We can't leave him in this smoke.
Right.
Look after him! Good luck! When they come in, don't put up a fight! We'll surrender peacefully.
Mind his head.
Okay, Jackie, we're on. Go!
Right.
We've got away. What now?
Now, to get you out of the country.
Out of the country?
Don't worry. It's all set up. I've spoken to my contact at the airfield. That's where we're going now.
Oh, my head.
Oh, you'll be all right. There's no serious damage done.
What happened to Arthur and the others?
We didn't see, but it looked like the Rangers were just about to break in as we left.
Oh, Arthur.
Okay, we're ready to go. My contact's the pilot of the plane over there, the Hawker Sidley. The fake flight plan and manifest are sorted. Let's get aboard. I'm going to fly up front with the pilot. We'll probably leave in 5 or 10 minutes. I'll keep you posted.
Thanks, Jackie.
Well, this is pretty plush in here, isn't it?
It's quite the most comfortable, desperate escape I've ever made.
I hate to spoil the party, but we've got company.
What? Oh, Rangers on horseback.
We've just had a message from the control tower telling us to cancel our takeoff.
That's why. Rangers.
Right. To hell with it. I'm telling Ted to take off, whatever the tower says.
They're almost on top of us.
I'll deal with that.
Robin,
I don't want to leave this country anyway. It's got Arthur in it.
are you sure?
I'm sure. Your jacket. It could help for what I have in mind.
Oh, here you go.
Thanks.
Oh, hey, Robin.
Yeah?
Good luck. And by the way, that's Arthur's jacket.
I'll see he gets it. Good luck. I hope I don't see you again.
He's running like the clappers.
Oh, they're going after him. It's working.
Okay, Ted. Door sealed. We're good to go.
They've caught up with Robin. He's laughing.
And we have liftoff!
Oh, I can breathe again. Oh.
What do you think?
Very comfortable.
It's been so long since I've flown, I'd forgotten the sensation. Oh, look at those clouds. I feel I could bite them.
What's our destination?
Sweden. We'll place Abby with a lovely family in Malmo, then you and I will come back.
Oh, I just realised I haven't got a passport. Do people still use passports?
It's travel permits these days.
Oh, you won't need them, not where we're landing.
How long till we reach the coast?
Not long. We're over Norfolk at the moment. I'll just check our flight times with Ted.
Oh, I hope it's not too long before I can come... Oh!
What happened? I think we've been hit by something.
Another one! Is that a bird strike?
I don't think so.
Someone's shooting at the plane from the ground.
Shooting?
They hit Ted. Get to the back of the plane.
What about you?
I'm going to see what I can do. See if I can level us out or something. Get to the back.
Come on out. Hold on to me, Abby.
Oh, Jenny!
Jackie.
I'm here.
Oh, thank God. Abby? 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 Speak to me. She's here. I found her. Okay. Now, where's your, a pulse? A pulse? Oh, you awful woman. You scared me. Abby's okay. Well, she's unconscious, but she's alive. Now, you just lie there. We'll get help soon. That was some flying. Jackie? You awake?
I tried.
Shh, don't worry. Let me move some of this. God.
It's okay.
God. Jackie. You're... This...
It's okay.
No, it's not. You're... Jackie, you can't die.
Shh. Don't be silly.
No. I can shift this.
No. Stop.
I'll get some help.
Fine. Oh. Hello again.
Jackie.
Don't worry, darling.
Oh, Jackie.
She's just sad I'm leaving.
Oh.
Hello, Hannah. Daniel. So good to see you. Oh. Gemma. And Joe. My little soldiers. How you've grown, darlings. Oh. Hello, Jason. Thank you for waiting for me.
Please don't leave me, Jackie.
Yes, you're right. Time to get going.
Please.
You'll be okay. We're all okay again.
Jackie? No. Jackie. Please, don't leave me. Don't leave me on my own. Oh.
You have been listening to Survivors, New Dawn. My Generation, written by Katharine Armitage. Abby Grant was played by Carolyn Seymour, Jenny Richards, Lucy Fleming, Jackie Burchall, Louise Jameson, Robin, Barney Fishwick, Arthur, James McCallum, Celia Tate, Belinda Lang. Other roles played by members of the cast. Director, Ken Bentley. Producer, Emma Haig. Sound design, Benji Clifford. Music, Nicholas Briggs. Script editor, Andrew Smith. Executive producers, Nicholas Briggs and Jason Haig-Ellery.
Hello, I'm Ken Bentley, and I have directed Survivors New Dawn.
Are you going to go on air for us and tell your story?
I don't know yet. Maybe.
Please do. It's important people hear it.
It's important it's stopped and the people responsible are brought to justice. Talking about it on a pirate radio broadcast may not be the best way to go about that.
Says who?
In leaping 15 years ahead, the interesting thing the writers have been able to do is start to introduce characters for whom this new world is all they've known. So we can start to dispense with some of the baggage of what the world used to be and everybody desperately trying to return to what the world used to be. And we can start to introduce characters who see the potential for the world to be something else, something better. These days we always think of these sorts of underground movements as being in some way sort of disruptive to the point of terrorism. And they're not. They just see an opportunity for a better world. And I think that's a really lovely thread of story to introduce.
I'm Katharine Armitage, and I was the writer for My Generation for Survivors New Dawn 1. The inspiration for the story was kind of a few things coming together, actually. The big thing I've been thinking a lot about was the relationship between the generations. And I've been thinking about it just in my own life and how different, for example, my goddaughter who's 18, how different her world is to mine. Just the fact that she's grown up with the internet and she has a very different perspective on things. There are some things that are exactly the same, and I swear teenagers don't change, but there are just some really fundamental differences about how we see the world or how we want to interact with it, or even how we understand what the world is, that I think makes for a really interesting dialogue.
I'm Lucy Fleming, and I play Jenny Richards.
And I'm Carolyn Seymour, and I play Abby Grant.
Oh, it's just bliss. It's like putting on a lovely old pair of shoes. Well, not really, but, it's just, we know these people for God knows how many years we've been playing them. It just is fun because I think, particularly with these scripts, they're very good and they've moved the story forward a lot. And so the characters have changed slightly and the circumstances have changed. But it's a wonderful position to be in, to play the same old character years and years and years later from when you first played it, and not aged at all. Much.
Not aged at all. That's the good part, is that we're 30 years younger than we actually are, which is the great thing.
My name's Louise Jameson and I play Jackie in The Survivors.
Arthur said you get people out of the country.
Oh, he shouldn't have told you that. Not without knowing more about you.
Are there many people who want to leave?
Britain isn't a safe place for everyone.
When was it ever?
Jackie's a extremely complicated character. She arrived with a lot of mental health issues. She's appallingly bereaved. She actually killed her own children to spare them the future that she thought was ahead of them. And when she recovered, found that she'd left herself with no family at all. Husband already died, and children murdered by herself for all the best intentions, but left her with an incredible amount of guilt. And she slips in and out of this fantasy world that I think her brain has created in order to preserve her.
I think one of the endearing things is seeing her actually try to do well by people through less official channels, let's say. But yeah, really, really nice to be reintroduced to a character and to discover them in such a... Given the world of survivors is, broadly speaking, pretty dark and gloomy, to be reintroduced to a character who's in a reasonably happy place.
She's been an absolute joy to play, way out in a different area from all the other parts that Big Finish have thrown at me. I was absolutely thrilled to be part of Survivors. Survivors is interesting. Survivors was I auditioned for Survivors back in the day and didn't get it, but I was auditioned by Pennant Roberts, who remembered me from the audition and called me in to audition for Leela. So I always feel Survivors, even though I was never in it, has been on television, has been a very big part of my life. So I was absolutely thrilled to be part of it on audio.
There's a logic in story terms to seeing Jackie helping young people, because that was always the sort of root cause of the things she was struggling with and dealing with in the first series of Survivors over many episodes. So I suppose part of her healing was in finding a way to help young people make sense in the world of Survivors, and is satisfying in story terms.
Sometimes Abby needs protecting from herself. I wouldn't put it past her to sneak out.
Let her try.
She has quite a dilemma in episode 2 because she's desperate to help Abby, but sort of can't because of her loyalty to her Prime Minister. And although she does sort of help Abby, and she does things that she shouldn't be doing because, of course, she has her loyalty to Abby, but then she gets into quite a lot of trouble with the Prime Minister. And then there are some, young demonstrators, passionate young people who she gets swayed by to change a broadcast or kind of go on further than she should with the broadcast in order to try and help them, and then goes back and helps Abby as well. So it's a good episode.
Yes, it's a lot about moral dilemma,
Yeah.
She's betrayed by people in power, which is what she's used to, and there's her darling Jenny, who seems to be agin her again, so she has to escape, and yet again she's off, driving carts, jumping on things, and getting away from people. And then her voice gets heard again, because she always does it rather stridently, but she gets there in the end. And she loves these young people. She loves the new youth is what really excites her, because she knows that there's hope with these young people.
Yes, definitely. It's people of sort of, who in their 20s who knew nothing about that, they weren't born when the death happened. And I think that's a very interesting angle to go to get their thoughts and get them moving up in the sort of hierarchy of the system.
And this script acknowledges that they also have a moral compass and that they're important for the future of the country.
My name is Barney Fishwick, and I played the part of Robin in episode 2, My Generation. It's time to start the broadcast.
Do I not get a say in that?
If you don't tell your story, I'll tell it on your behalf. Either way, it'll be heard. I felt very, very excited to play him because he's so passionate and he's so committed and principled and brave, essentially. He's very, very brave, and he's exactly the sort of person that I would want to be in that situation, but worry that I wouldn't be brave enough to actually be. So it was a thrill to play him, and liberating at the same time to be so unashamed about one's principles and one's political beliefs.
Hi, I'm James McCallum, and I play the part of Arthur.
We might as well be shouting at the wind.
I didn't know about the age limit. That doesn't sound fair.
A lot of what's happening is unfair. Like what happened to you.
I really like this character. I think he's got a very good heart and a very sweet nature, in spite of the hardship he's faced in his life. It's never explicitly stated what happened, but it's hinted at that he had quite a difficult time growing up gay, and he clearly experiences ongoing abuse as a result of his sexuality. but there's a kind of an optimism and a stoicism and a real drive that keeps him going. So I developed quite the soft spot for Arthur as I was playing him.
And very often I think the conversation between generations can be a bit acrimonious. In particular, it's something I often find when you're talking about, say, within a particular group or like a movement like feminism, there can be quite a lot of tension between the different generations. And in particular, I noticed there's this idea of we did all the hard work for you and you're reaping the rewards of that, which actually I think is a fair enough feeling. You know, I can understand where that feeling comes from. But then you also have the younger generation saying, well, actually, you know, you had all this stuff that we don't have. And there's sort of almost like this rivalry. So I was really fascinated by that. And I started thinking about, well, how would that play out in the world of Survivors? Because Survivors is this amazing microcosm of society. You know, it is a whole country in many ways, but each episode is usually we're in one small place. And it gives us this amazing window into a society stripped back. What does it actually mean? What are the actual morals? What are the actual relationships? So it felt like a really great way to explore these thoughts I've been having.
Everybody we work with regularly knows what we do, and it's just tremendous the way they just throw themselves into these big sequences and give it absolutely everything it needs. We often sort of talk about never being knowingly underplayed at Big Finish, but I find audio to be quite heightened and quite theatrical anyway. I think it needs it because the only thing you've got going is sound. The only way for listeners to create these images is based on what they hear. So you need audio, you need something for them to respond to. So it needs to be quite heightened. But as long as it's truthful to the moment that you're trying to create, then it works.
I hope it's not too long before I can come. Oh!
What happened? I think we've been hit by something.
Another one! Is that a bird strike?
I don't think so.
I must admit, I don't find these sort of big visual set pieces as much of a struggle as I think we sometimes think they might be. They sort of come together. Maybe it's just because we're at Big Finish, we're used to doing very large scale cinematic visual storytelling almost exclusively, and we put a lot of effort into making sure that what's happening is clear, both in terms of how we write it and how we play it and how we edit it. It's a constant process. So we often find that we'll knowingly and purposefully overwrite a scene so there's as much information in there as possible so that everything is as clear as possible. And then when we're recording, we'll play around with that a bit, and we might chop and change things or cut some things if we think that actually in the moment, given everything else that's going on and the sound effects, that we don't need a line that we did have, a line of dialogue that we did have that we thought might help clarify what was happening. And then similarly in post-production, we'll chip away again. It's another pass to make sure that we're creating this sort of image in the listener's mind as efficiently as we can, because there's nothing worse than sort of overstating what's going on. It's more of an enjoyment than it is an effort to make some of those big sequences work.